Shalom, shalom. Shalom, first and foremost, I want to say call him like Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rekar Kodash, the ones to our apostles, teachers, and peace and salutations onto the Most High's election. All right. So, as it says in the book of John 9 and 4, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is yet day, the night coming when no man could work. So, we're fastly approaching the night when no man can work. So, if you of the elect of the Lord, you're gonna feel a burning and yearning, to do this work. Like Earth, Wind, and Fire said, man, you're gonna feel a need to do this work. You're gonna be drawn to the truth, and you're going to actually want to do as much as you can before it's all said and done. See, one of the things that fuck people up is regret. Regret. You don't want to have any regrets. Okay, when the Lord comes, you don't want to have any regrets, man. Oh, I could have did this. I could have did that. I should have did more. I should have did this. I should have did that. Like my old coach used to say, man, when I used to play footy, man. Um, which one of the things, man, that stuck with me that he used to say, old bald head Edomite looking dude. But I think he was a Jake. He was a pretty decent player in his time. But he used to speak about regret, and at the time I didn't really understand it because I was like 7, 8, 9. I was like, like U10 or something like that. So at the time, you just mad at your coach and stuff like that. But he said, man, if you don't finish this, you ain't never gonna finish nothing in life. And the Lord told you to finish the course, man. All right. So right now is the time you're supposed to be pushing in full force to the end, to the finish line, man. You know what I mean? So um, you gotta leave it all out there on the line. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's a legacy being written. All right. Matter of fact, let me get the word for legacy while I'm at it. It says a body of persons on a mission. That's what the word legacy means. A noun. A body of persons sent on a mission. All right. Okay. It says ambassador, envoy, deputy. It says sent with a commission, appoint as a deputy, appoint by last will. Okay. Appoint as a deputy. So we have a job to do. All right. A legacy, I'll look at the word. Let's see what Google says, because this is the etymology, which is good as well. But let's see what Google and them say. Merriam-Webster definition. All right, because we're leaving behind a legacy. See, as the legacy of the prophets, the legacy of Yahweh Shai's ministry, you know. So that's the thing that will always be remembered, you know. But niggas gonna forget about a rap career and a basketball career, this and that. People will forget about this shit, But the things that you true man of the Lord do shall echo through the history books, through millennia, man. It's gonna be thousands, millions of years, and they still gonna be talking about what you did on this side, man. The man of the Lord. All right, so legacy, an amount of money or property left to someone in a will. It says the long-lasting impact of a particular event, actions, etc., that took place in the past of a person's life. He left us a rich legacy of buildings that both innovate architectural creation and genuine works of art. Her legacy will live on for generations to come, the legacy of centuries of neglect. See, so here it is. In this society, you have a legacy of slavery, of nigger culture, of homelessness, of despair. But the Lord said he would turn our tears into joy. You see, so our legacy would no longer be the legacy of being a street nigga. Your daddy and them being BMF, you know, and your mama and them being Foxy Red Fox and all them hoes, Foxy Brown and all them, your mama and them being Shaka Khan, and that's not the legacy that the Israelites are going to leave behind. Okay, so we have a true legacy, which is this book, this Bible. That's our legacy, our heritage. Okay, an inheritance, a succession. See, what we leave behind to our posterity, which our posterity is always going is going to look and see, and we're all going to live forever, but we're going to be remembered, throughout generations, because the Lord told you you're going to live forever, and the things that you do, will be immortalized. All right. So Sirach Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1, it says, remember now that Creator in the days of thy youth. It said, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when I shall say, I have no pleasure in them. Okay, and while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the window be dark, and the doors be shut in the streets, and the sound of grinding is low. All right, them jobs about to be taken. I shall rise up at the birth like it, and all the daughters' music shall be brought low. See, Hollywood, their legacy. Okay, nobody's gonna remember no Gene Grant. Nobody's gonna remember Denzel Washington. Nobody's gonna remember Jay-Z, which you next, nigga. You the next guy on the totem pole that's gonna fall. Nobody's gonna remember all these guys. Michael Jackson, the greatest of all time. Nobody's gonna be singing no beat it, and Jenny, are you okay? Nobody's gonna be singing no shit like that. They're gonna be singing the song of Moses, the song of deliverance, the songs of the praise. They're gonna be singing the praise of you brothers out there, man. You see, and that's the legacy you're gonna leave behind, man. Not a legacy of niggerdom. Okay, so Sirach chapter 5, verse 7, make no tarrying to turn to the Most High, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. Set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. So a great calamity is coming to the earth, man. But those that escape from these calamities are those that's building that legacy that never perish. That's building, that house of David. It's like Zechariah, the 12th chapter. All right. The house of David shall be as God. These men are building a legacy that the Most High is going to establish, man, and never be forgotten. You see, everything here on this side is going to be forgotten. All right. All this shit, the Lord told you, 2 Peter, 3rd chapter, the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right. That includes your so-called legacy on this side, man. That includes all your works, all your time spent doing this and that. That's futile. Okay. That's a futile effort, meaning to no avail, no profit. The Lord told us we're unprofitable servants. Yes, on this side, quote unquote, unprofitable servants, but really what we're doing is going to echo throughout the eons, man. All right. We're unprofitable servants because right now we're not getting paid. Nobody's up there, praising you, for what y'all doing. Matter of fact, they're spitting on you and shit like that. That's why you consider the unprofitable servant. A profitable servant on this side would be LeBron James, one of these clowns, but they would be considered profitable servants to the white man, But here it is, we are serving the God power of Israel, the Most High God power of Israel, which will give us an everlasting legacy, not a NBA legacy, not a Michael Jordan, Vince Carter legacy. Dikembe Mutombo died. What's Dikembe Mutombo's legacy? Him saying no, 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 no. That's his legacy. That's what people are gonna remember him for. But the Most High, He's going to establish your posterity, and He's going to establish the covenant that He made with your fathers that shall never be forgotten. All right. So it says Exodus chapter 31 and verse 12. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep. It says, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations. Throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord Most High Abba Shemashah that sanctified you. You shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. Whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul should be cut off from amongst the people. But the point right here is in the 13th verse, right? The Sabbath and high holy days, new moons are a sign between me and you throughout all your generations. See, this is a perpetual statute, which we keep in remembrance of our heritage, of our legacy. This is our legacy. You keep the Passover, new moons, and all different things, right? Which the Lord told you not to judge a man according to, for it's a shadow of things to come. But it's a statute throughout all your generations. So this is your legacy, man. This is your legacy, this truth. All right. And that's hence why the Lord said you're rich. Because this is something that is you can't put a price upon, you know, everlasting legacy, man. You know, here you're gonna die and that's it. Nobody gonna remember you like that. On this side, you die, a nigga gonna come in and take everything you got. Take your mama, take your woman, take this, take that from you. Take your lands, take your house. Somebody gonna move in, you die. The government gonna take it. The world's gonna just keep going. And nobody's gonna remember you like that unless you do some extravagant shit and sell out the Esau. But then eventually time goes on, they forget about you. But the Most High is going to establish our feet where we're gonna live forever, and our legacy and our works gonna follow us. The Lord told you, Revelation 14 chapter, their works do follow them, right? Their works do follow them. 14 and 13, right? And I heard a voice saying, Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord Yahushua. Blessed are the dead that die in the Lord Yahushua. Because that's an everlasting remembrance right there. Just like Stephen. Stephen's written up forever. These men died for the Most High and His Son, and it was written in there forever. Right? Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord Yahushua from henceforth. Ye saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. All right. So the Most High gonna give us rest from our labors, and our works gonna follow you throughout all the generations. You're gonna be living 10 million years, and they still gonna be talking about what you did on this side, man. And what you did in previous lives. See that? Because man is judged based upon what he does, right? His actions speak louder than words, right? But the word of the Most High that you speaking is going to be established, because the Lord is going to back up everything that you've been doing on this side, just like He backed up His man back in the ancient world, pursuing Isaiah 54:17. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. I want to look at that word heritage real quick. Isaiah 54. I ain't looked at it in a minute. I want to see what it says, because that's a heritage. That's a legacy. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, the rations of me. Therefore, what? No weapon formed against it shall prosper. All right. So it says, Isaiah 54:17, weapon formed against prosper. It's the heritage. Strong 51:59, Nahala. So it says, a heritage, which is a possession, an inheritance, a heritage, portion, a portion. All right. It says in Jeremiah 12:10, it says that many pastors have destroyed or tread down the Lord's portion, the Lord's legacy, His inheritance, His children. All right. The inheritance portion, possession, property, inheritance, heritage. Yeah. So that's that's our legacy. This truth, man. Which everybody, on this side, all these nations have tried to strip from us, man. Take our posterity away from us. Let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more being remembered. In Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Why? Because they know the power that you possess. They know that taking you down and taking away your legacy and making the name of Israel be no more in remembrance, deprives you of your God-given powers, of your rights, of your you know, because you're under the curse. They know that, and they taking advantage of that. They kick you when you're down. You see, but the Most High say, "You lift the beggar up out the dunghill," and gave us back our, and is about to give us back our legacy. And right now, you know, we have this truth. We have this. The Lord said we have what? Treasure in earthen vessels. All right. So it says Sirach 45 and verse no, actually, no, Leviticus 7. Leviticus 7 and verse 28. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, He that offereth the sacrifice of his peace offerings unto the Lord shall bring his oblation unto the Most High. Of the sacrifice of his peace offerings, his own hands shall bring the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and the fat with the breast it shall he bring, that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before the Lord. And the priest shall burn the fat upon the altar, but the breast shall be Aaron and his sons. And the right shoulder shall he give unto the priest for a heavy offering of the sacrifice of his peace offerings. He among the sons of Aaron that offered the blood of peace offerings and the fat shall have the right shoulder for his part. For the wave breast and the heave shoulder have I taken of the children of Israel from out the sacrifice of the peace offerings, and have given them unto Aaron the priest and his sons by a statute forever and ever amongst the children of Israel. See, so these statutes that the Lord set up, right, back then, right, the priests, Levites, sons of Aaron, are unto us forever. This is our legacy right here. Okay, yes, we don't have to sacrifice anymore, you know, for our sins because the Lord was sacrificed. But He said, well, He made us a nation of kings and priests, that our statutes will always be held up forever. So the Lord is not going to abolish the posterity of His elect, as it says in Sirach the 47th chapter. Okay, now, Sirach 45 and verse 1. Now it says he brought him out a merciful man, which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of the Most High, and men, whose memorial is blessed. He made him like to the glorious saints and magnified him so that his enemies stood in fear. By his words he caused the wonders to cease, and he made him glorious in the sight of kings, and gave him a commandment for his people, and showed him part of his glory. He sanctified him in his faithfulness and meekness, and chose him out of all men. He made him to hear his voice, and brought him into the dark cloud, and gave him commandments before his face, even the law of life and knowledge, that he might teach Jacob his covenants and Israel his judgments. That's right. So Moses and them was our legacy, man. Because what it says in the 44th chapter, you go one chapter back, it says, let us praise our famous fathers and famous men and fathers that begat us. Right, as Sirach 44 and 1 on that, right? So part of these are Moses, right? He's going to go into the rest of them, and he's going to talk about Aaron that he talked about in Leviticus, the 7th chapter. Okay, so it says, 4th verse, he sanctified him in faithfulness and meekness and chose him out of all men. He made him to hear his voice, brought him into the dark cloud, and gave him commandment for his face, even the law of life and knowledge, that he might teach Jacob his covenant and Israel his judgments. He exalted Aaron and a holy man like unto him, even his brother of the tribe of Levi. An everlasting covenant, an everlasting legacy. Yeah. He made with him and gave him the priesthood amongst the people. For he beautified him with comely ornaments and clothed him with a robe of glory. The Lord told us that he's going to appoint beauty for ashes. We have ashes on us right now, sackcloth on you. The Lord told you to cast sackcloth upon your head for mourning, because your legacy is not is you don't have nothing here. You don't have no priest, no ephod. The children of Israel shall abide many days without king, without teraphim, right, without sacrifice. So the priests and them, they sacrificed for you back in the ancient world. You know, they took on the office of the priesthood. That was your legacy. That's why, like, the tribe of Levi and them didn't have an inheritance, because the Most High was their inheritance, right? But you see, now the Most High is giving us back our inheritance, man. Our Most High is giving us back our legacy. You know, our respect, our fear amongst the nations. You know, the nations are gonna fear you, man, because they're gonna hear about your legacy. They're gonna hear about your works, man. You know, they're gonna hear that the Most High is with you. You know, as He was in the days of old. All right, so an everlasting covenant he made with him, and gave him the priesthood amongst the people. He beautified him with comely ornaments and clothed him with a robe of glory. He put on him perfect glory and strengthened him with rich garments, with breeches and with a long robe and with an ephod. And he compassed him with pomegranates and with many gold bells round about, that he was there, that as he went there, he might be a sound and a noise that might be heard in the temple for a memorial to the children of his people. It says, with a holy garment with gold and blue silk and purple, the work of the embroidery, with a breastplate of judgment and with Urim and Thummim, right? And hey, nothing new under the sun. That came all. That's gonna come back now, right? We have the Urim and Thummim. We have these lights. You know, it's perfected lights. All right, in the palm of our hands. Now we could use it again as we did in the ancient world. The Lord communicates with us through these again, like He did back then. You see, He sends us messages through brothers. You know, you watch these epistles. You know, you watch the apostles, you watch brothers, you know, and they giving you the words of the Lord. They're giving you the counsel of the Lord, just like back in the day, just in a different form, because knowledge is gonna increase, right? Daniel's 12, this is gonna increase. So now it's gonna become in a different form, in a more modern form, man. You know, where you're driving around in cars and you're driving around, and, you know, you got your phones on you, you got your computers, and you know, so you're able to access all this information, you know, in a different form. So it says the 11th verse, with twisted scarlet, the work of the cunning workman, with precious stones graven like seals, and set in gold, the work of the jeweler, with a writing engraved for a memorial after the number of the tribes of Israel. He set a crown of gold upon the mitre, wherein was engraved holiness and an ornament of honor, a costly work, the desires of the eyes, and goodly and beautiful. It says, before him there was none such, neither did any stranger put them on, but only his children and his children's children perpetually. Only the Israelites, all right, are going to have this perpetual legacy right here. All right, this inheritance. All right, perpetual meaning generation upon generation, right? A perpetual inheritance, a perpetual judgment. Your children gonna have children, their children gonna have children, and you all gonna be up under that legacy, man, under um that honorable legacy of the Lord, man. And the Lord's not gonna blot out their remembrance from amongst the children of men, you know, as He's gonna do Amalek in them, you know. The Lord said He's gonna blot out His posterity, man. He's gonna blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. All right. So Sirach 45 and verse 14, their sacrifices shall be wholly consumed every day, twice continually. Moses consecrated him and anointed him with holy oil. This was appointed unto him as an everlasting covenant, perpetual covenant, right? And to his seed, so long as the heavens should remain. The Lord gave us this inheritance, this legacy, as long as the heavens should remain. That everlasting covenant is like a legacy, a pact with our people, man. You know, and that's why it's so heavy, man. That's why the priests uh, um, minister unto the people and told them, right, as I said here, so as long as the heavens should remain, that they should minister unto him and execute the office of the priesthood and bless the people in his name. The Lord told you in Malachi 3 and 6, I, the Lord, I change not, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. He said this is forever, you know. So as you read in 1 Corinthians 14:32, the spirit of prophets is subject unto the prophets. That legacy that they established years and years and years ago, many moons ago, throughout the generations, coming back in different slavery captivities, doing the work of the Lord. Right. This is the last. This is the last time. This is the last time. Here it is. You got that fat chucker, call himself KD, King David, the dude with the pork spread and all that, whatever his name is. This guy said, "We're not in the time of the prophets. We're not in the time of the prophets." It's always been the time of the prophet. Every time Jake was in captivity, or the prophets was always sent. You know, it was always the time of the prophets. Yes, the Lord did withdraw His hand for a time. You know, while you was in slavery. You know, while you was in antebellum slavery in the 1800s, 1900s. You know, whatever the case may be. You know, but the Lord said He would send them back. You know, and He said, "I will send you Elijah the prophet. He would turn what the sons, the heart of sons onto the children, children to the fathers." right? Lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Right? So he got to give us back this because he's bound by his word. He got to give this back to us so that we may be one with him and we may have our legacy and our inheritance back, our everlasting covenant back. So that they should minister unto him and execute the office of the priesthood and bless the people in his name. 16 verse. He chose him out of all men living to offer sacrifice to the Most High, incense and a sweet savor for a memorial to make reconciliation for his people. All right. And he gave unto him his commandments and authority in the statutes of judgments, that he should teach Jacob the testimonies and inform Israel in his laws. Strangers conspired together against him. See, because this world is full of wickedness. See, the Lord, he has a way of creating obstacles and stumbling blocks and you know, trials and challenges, you know, just like a game, just like a video game. You know, you got a bunch of things to accomplish. You know, you're sent on missions, you got quests, you know, you got side quests, you got NPCs. The majority of people are NPCs, but the main characters will be you brothers of the Lord, man. You men of the Lord. You're the main characters in this story. The Most High created the world, and he set, you know, 17, 18 nations on it. But the main character is Israel, and the main character is the men of the Lord. All right. That's who's written in the book. That's who's spoken about. That's who's the main priority. And that's who the main legacy is going to be spoken of. You see, because the nation of Israel comes from the prophets, comes from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, you know, David, you know, that's where the 12 tribes, man. It comes from the legacy. The 12 tribes of Israel is the legacy of the prophets, of the men of the Lord, starting with Yahushua, the top Israelite, you know. So that inheritance had been polluted. The Lord said, Isaiah 45 and 6. Oh, no, not 45, 47 and 6. It said, I was wroth for my people. I have polluted mine inheritance. You see? Because right now your inheritance is polluted. The Lord's inheritance is polluted. The Lord's gonna come and cleanse it by fire. Okay. It pleased him to bruise his son, and it pleased him to drown the earth. So it's gonna please him to bathe this place with fire. All right. So 17 verse. And he gave unto him his commandments and authority in the statute of judgments, that he should teach Jacob the testimonies and form the law, Israel in his laws. So like strangers conspired together against. So you got people conspiring against you because you bring this holy word out. Okay. You're bringing this truth out. So you got people that want to malign you. It says, and malign him in the wilderness, where Moses and them was leaving behind a legacy for these people, trying to bring them into the promised land. A nigga was maligning them, you see, because a nigga ain't nothing but a cockroach. You see, he ain't nothing but a cockroach that doesn't understand righteousness and truth. Okay, because he's not of the elect. These dudes in the wilderness, they were fucking niggas that want to go back to Egypt and live like low base people instead of trusting in the Lord, man. You know, like Joshua told them, man, you're gonna serve your guys that was on the other side of the flood, or me and my house, we're gonna serve the Father. We're gonna serve the Lord. You know, Joshua the 24th chapter. Okay. So these strangers conspired against him. There's a niggas 2/3 and maligned him within the wilderness, even the men that were of Dathan, Abiram side, and the congregation of Korah. With fury and wrath were they taken. Numbers the 16th chapter, they was swallowed up because they was against or trying to move against the will of the Father, against the legacy of Israel, against the true governing body of Israel, man. You know, so they were met with heavy resistance from the Father, man, to the point where you get swallowed up like in the movie Dune, man. Dune, I should say Dune. You know, you get swallowed up by a damn ringworm. You know, these niggas got swallowed up by the earth. You know, because they was playing games with the Lord's legacy, with the Lord's inheritance. That's why I did that lesson yesterday about you false prophet niggas, because you are part of those that pollute the Lord's inheritance, man. That tear and devour widows' houses, man. That make a man a twofold child of hell. See? So 19 verse, and the Lord saw this, and it displeased him, and his wrathful indignation were they consumed, and he did wonders upon them to consume them with the fiery flame. And he made Aaron more honorable, and gave him a heritage, and divided into him the first fruits of the increase, Especially he prepared bread and the butter. Yeah, because Aaron was one of the men, was one of the fathers of the promise. So he received the heritage. What's their heritage? The children of Israel. Okay, to watch over, this truth, this patrimony, spiritual legacy of Yahushua. The word patrimony means the spiritual property of the church, right? Spiritual legacy of Yahushua. It says Christ, the anointed, right? Heritage, patrimony, a paternal inheritance from the Father. Stated condition, action, the law, right, property, inherited from a father or ancestors, right? Immaterial things handed down from the past. Immaterial things. So not things that you could touch with your hands, you know. It's a spiritual thing. Can you touch the spirit? No. These are immaterial things handed down from the past. See, there's truth. You can't put your hands on the truth, can you? You know, but you could feel it. You could speak it. You could believe it, and the Most High is gonna make it real. You know, Most High is gonna make it real. You know, Most High is gonna make it real. Most High is gonna make it established forever, and we're gonna have our inheritance. We're gonna have our heritage. We're gonna have a patrimony. You know, an inheritance from the Father never be taken from us by a nigger, by a demon, by another nation. You know, by the spiritual demon Satan. You know, nobody's gonna have the power to take anything from us because the Lord's gonna be with us. You know, and He's not gonna pollute our inheritance anymore. You know, so it says, but He made Aaron more honorable. Sirach 45:20. And gave him a heritage and divided unto him the first fruits of the increase. Especially, he prepared bread in abundance. The Lord told you that we're gonna have abundance. They shall, the servants of the Lord shall have what? Second, the second chapter, around about the 35th verse. It says, my servant shall eat and thou shalt be hungry. All right, they're gonna starve. These people are gonna starve. All right, the heathen shall envy thee, but should be able to do nothing against thee. Because the heathen, their inheritance is gonna be taken from them. They ain't gonna have no more pharmaceutical companies. They ain't gonna have no more, big ass houses. They ain't gonna have no more military industrial complex. They ain't gonna have shit left over. They ain't gonna have nothing. They only gonna have their slavery to look forward to. Okay, and the curse is gonna befall them, pursuant to Deuteronomy 30:7. So it says, Sirach 45 and verse 21, for they eat of the sacrifice of the Lord, which he gave unto him and his seed. Howbeit in the land of the people he had no inheritance, neither had he any portion amongst the people, for the Lord himself is his portion and his inheritance. The third in glory is Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, because he had zeal in the fear of the Lord, and he stood up with good courage of heart. And when the people would turn back, he made reconciliation for Israel. When the people would turn back, aka when niggas were being niggas, when they were turning their backs on the Lord, the men of the Lord made reconciliation for Israel. That's why the scriptures speak about the ministry of reconciliation. That's by way of the Lord's men who are setting up an inheritance for their children, for their posterity, man. Okay, for their posterity. Matter of fact, let's prove that. First Kings 16th chapter and the second verse. For as much as I exalted thee out of dust, and I made thee prince over my people Israel, and thou hast walked in the way of Jeroboam, and has made my people Israel to sin, to provoke me to anger with their sins. Behold, I will take away the posterity of Baasha and the posterity of his house, and will make thy house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. All right, so the posterity of one is one's heritage, one's legacy. Hence the word legacy. Posterity would be one's legacy. All right. Posterity, a person's offspring, descendants collectively. Okay. The one's future, what one leaves behind. Okay. Once one is gone into the afterlife, that's what it says here. Coming after, subsequent, post, after, post. Like when somebody says post mortem, that's after death, post, after, mortem, death. Latin for death, morte. Go back to the Spanish word, go back to mortem, which means death, after death. After death, shall we live again? Like Billie Eilish said. So Here it is. Back in Sirach 45 and verse 24. Therefore was there a covenant of peace made with him, that he should be the chief of the sanctuary and of his people, that he and his posterity should have the dignity of the priesthood forever. Okay, Phinehas the son of Eleazar has zeal and the fear of the Lord, stood up with good courage, and when the people would turn back, made reconciliation for Israel. That's what the men of the Lord are doing. That's why they're gonna be written of forever and ever and ever. And that's why you niggas are gonna be forgotten forever and ever and ever. All right. Starting with you Edomites. All right. Okay, because the Lord told you the hope of the hypocrite shall perish. All right. And our people are a bunch of fucking hypocrites. So their hope is gonna perish on this side. But you are going to inherit everlasting life, man, and everlasting glory and everlasting prominence in the kingdom. While these people gonna have their heads down, yeah, they're gonna be Israelites, but they ain't gonna be on the same level as you. They ain't gonna be on the same level as you. They're gonna be doing what they're told. All right, they're gonna do what they're told. Yeah, we're gonna do what we're told, but it's gonna be a different type of story, bro. Because you're gonna rule on the planet, on the okay, and they ain't gonna really be able to talk to you like that. They're gonna just like you can't talk to the elites of your people right now. You know, you can't talk to them niggas. You can't go up there and, ask Kanye when he's niggas for something. Can you go and ask Jay-Z for him to help you? That nigga will treat you worse than Esau, you know? But see, and when we get in our power, we're going to treat our people good, man. We're going to love them, but there's going to be levels to this Israelite thing of ours, man. All right? There's going to be levels to this Israelite thing of ours, man. Okay? They're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. They're gonna be cool, And but at the end of the day, hey, it's all about the legacy of the prophets. It's all about the elect of Israel, because the Lord told you all Israel is not of Israel. Your children and them that come after from you, they're gonna be righteous, But it's all gonna be because of what you and what you have done on this side, man. Because you have sacrificed for these people, just like Yahweh Shai sacrificed for you, you know. So there was a covenant of peace made with him, that he should be the chief of the sanctuary and of his people, and that he and his posterity should have the dignity of the priesthood forevermore. According to the covenant made with David, the son of Jesse, which David told you not to lift up prayer for these people, matter of fact, because he was so pissed off with them. Okay. And of the tribe of Judah, the inheritance of the king should be to who? To his posterity alone, only Israel. So the inheritance of Aaron should be unto his seed. God, the Most High Yahweh Shai, gave you wisdom in your heart to judge his people in righteousness, that their good things be not abolished, and that their glory may endure forever. But how is that going to come? Through what you've done on this side. Your people and them, your children and them is going to live based upon what you did on this side. All right. Just like on this side. Your kids and them, Ice Cube's kids and them are living good and having opportunities because of what Ice Cube did. Not because of what they did. What the hell did they do? No, Ice Cube bust his ass and did all this stuff, did deals with the Illuminati and did all this shit so that O'Shea Duke Jackson could be up there doing movies with Vin Diesel and shit, So he could be up there doing movies and, so he could be doing NWA movies. See, your father establishes your legacy, man. If your father was some deadbeat nigga, then what legacy you got? You see, that's why that's a curse to our people, you know? But through your sacrifice, through the Lord Yahweh sacrifice, we've had the Lord Yahweh sacrifice, we've had entrance into a new life, into a new legacy, man. You know. So Numbers chapter 15 and verse 37, and the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the border of their garments throughout all their generations, and that they put on the fringe of the border of ribbon and blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Most High, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after that which ye shall go a whoring, which ye used to go a whoring, I should say, that ye may remember. It's all about remembering, man. I may put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this. That's why we never gonna forget in the kingdom, because we're gonna have all this in our written in our inward parts, man. That's why we're not under the new covenant. For you brothers out there, some of you are just more you need a little bit more education. Some of you are just straight demons that are just pushing that, but some of you have been deceived, man. To believe that, oh yeah, I'm in the new covenant. How could you be in the new covenant when your people are not all righteous? So Isaiah 60 and 21, your people are not all righteous. We're not there yet. Okay, we don't have a legacy, man. Right now, we're just teaching this word. People are looking at us like we're fucking crazy. You know, you got to understand time and place. We're not in that time yet. The time will come when we're going to be in that new covenant, man. The time will come. All right, but you got to get it right first and foremost. So that you may remember, Numbers 15:40, that ye may remember and do all my commandments and be holy unto your power. All right. I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I'm the Lord your God. All right. And the kingdom is going to say, I'm the Lord your God that brought you out of the land of America. All right. Which basically is Egypt again, too. But the Lord wrote it in code because Egypt means the house of bondage. Most High wrote it in code. That's why he said, you're going to go into Egypt again with ships by way of I spake unto thee. Right. Because it's a code. You're going to go into America, you know, again with ships. So Esther chapter 9, verse 25. But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should see all these heathens always been devising stuff against you because they know that you're the real legacy of the Most High, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons shall be hanged upon the gallows. So I said Exodus 11:7, against the children of Israel should not a dog move his tongue. Esther, you know, she was getting she defeated Haman and them, right? Okay, that was trying to move their tongue against the children of Israel. 26th verse. Wherefore they called these days Purim, after the manner of Pur. Therefore, for all the words of this letter and of that which they had seen concerning the matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them, upon their seed, their posterity, upon all such as join themselves unto them, so as it would not fail that they would keep these 2 days according to their writing, and according to the appointed time every year. That's throughout your generations, just like keeping the Sabbath, just like keeping the um fringes with the border of blue. That's a perpetual covenant, a statute, you know, throughout your generations. All right, as said in Numbers the 15th chapter. So you shall keep these 2 days according to the writing, Esther 9:27, according to their appointed time every year, right about the time of February, what this devil will call February, you know, which is like the end of the year, which March marks the beginning of the year, which because that's when all the fruit come back, the trees come back, and all that, you know. So 28 verse, and these days should be remembered and kept through every generation, every family, every province, and every city, that these days of Purim should not fail from amongst the Jews, nor the memorial of them perish from their seed. Then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abiah, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm the second letter of Purim. And he sent the letters unto the Jews and to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus with words of peace and truth. Yeah, this guy Ahasuerus had 127 provinces. It was pretty impressive, but that ain't shit compared to what we're gonna have. Okay. Ain't nothing. They ain't nothing compared to you. One of these brothers gonna have one brother gonna have 127 provinces. This is the top king of the, you know, back then. You know, Ahasuerus. I think it was Elam or Ishmael, one of them. You know, if I don't quote me on that, but that's the most he had, 127 provinces. Good for him. Clap it up. That was his inheritance right there back then. You know, but ours gonna far exceed. You know? So 31st verse, to confirm these days of Purim in the time appointed according to as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed the matters of the fasting and the crying. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book that you have today, which were written for your learning. Okay, so Psalms 135 and verse 4, it says, for the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yashai have chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure, for his peculiar inheritance, for his peculiar apple of his eye. For I know that the Lord is great, and the Lord our power is above all gods. Hero Israel, our God is one, right? Deuteronomy 6 chapter. Whatsoever the Lord pleased, that he did in heaven and earth and in the seas and all the deep places. He caused the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth, and he maketh lightnings for the rain. He bringeth the wind out of his treasuries. He smote the firstborn of Egypt, and both man and beast, who sent tokens and wonders in the midst of thee, O Egypt, upon Pharaoh, upon all his servants, who smote the great nations and slew mighty kings. Sihon, the king of the Amorites, all right, he went down. Og, the king of Bashan, and the kingdoms of Canaan, and gave their land for a heritage unto Israel his people. Thy name, O Lord, endureth forever, and thy memorial, O Lord, throughout all the generations. For the Lord will judge his people, and he will repent himself concerning his servants, and make a what? A heritage appear unto you. A covenant renewed, refreshed. New covenant means refreshed. The covenant of old that the Lord made with us, you're going to refresh it again, make it perfect this time, where we're never going to go off, because we're going to have perfect bodies, perfect spirits, perfect minds. Okay, which you hear it is you saying you're in a new covenant, but you don't have a perfect mind. You're not perfect. Yes, your spirit might be perfect. The Lord said, Job 8:20, I will not cast away a perfect man. You know, you might be of the house of David, you might be of the Lord household of faith, but you're still going off. So that's why it says we see through a glass darkly. You know, that's why it says flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. You're not in the kingdom of heaven, man. You're in slavery. You know, so where's your heritage and where's your legacy, man? Where's your kingdom? Where's your slaves at? If you're in the new covenant, where are your slaves at? Where is your, why you got to go to work? Why you got to pay subject to bills? You know, so you don't have no legacy on this side because it's all polluted. Now it says 18 verse, they that make them are like unto them, so is everyone that trusted in them. Bless the Lord, O house of Israel. Bless the Lord, O house of Aaron. Bless the Lord, O house of Levi, ye that fear the Most High. Bless the Lord. And bless the Lord out of Zion, the mighty man remembers, which dwelleth at Jerusalem. Praise ye the Lord. All right. Psalms 145 and verse 3. It says, great is the Most High, Hawabashimashai, and he's greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. I will speak of thy glorious honor, of thy majesty, and of thy wondrous works. And men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness. That's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing in the kingdom, uttering the memory of the Most High's great goodness towards the children of Israel that he delivered many times in Egypt, you know, Patros from Cush, Shinar, right? For the uttermost part of the sea, the Lord has delivered us through great goodness, the memory of that great goodness, and shall sing of thy righteousness. The Lord is gracious and full of compassion and slow to anger and of great mercy. The Most High is good to all, and his tender mercies are over his works. Yeah, he was good to Esau as. He gave Esau a kingdom that he don't deserve. He gave Elam a kingdom he didn't deserve. He gave the Hamites kingdoms that you didn't deserve. He gave Moab a kingdom he didn't deserve. So here it is, the Most High is good to all. Even though he's terrible, the father, the Lord told you he's the king of terrors. But at the end of the day, the Lord's merciful. He gave you peasants, you other heathen peasants. He gave you kingdoms that you don't deserve, man. He gave you our women that you don't deserve. He gave you us in your hands that you don't deserve. Yes, we went off, but you don't deserve none of this because you're terrible managers of the Lord's inheritance of the earth and his children. Look what you're doing with the Lord's people. Look at the potential these Jake got. But all you want to do is beat their ass so you can keep them in power because you're a selfish little bitch. Insecure little hoe that wants to keep all the resources of the earth because you couldn't control us. You see us as a threat. You see? That's why you can't rule. Okay? Because only we was meant to rule. Psalms 145 and verse 10. All thy work shall praise thee, O Lord. Thy saints shall bless thee. They shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom and talk of thy power. That's what you're supposed to be talking about. Let thy conversation be as becoming the gospel of the Lord Yahushua. Not about what kind of panties Cardi B had on her shit. Or did King David wore this, or who did this, or where's who was Ruth a Moabite? You know, Jake be complaining, bitching and moaning about amongst themselves about all kind of stuff, man. Man, nah, Ruth wasn't a Moabite. I'm leaving the camp, man, because I believe Ruth was a Moabite. And I think King David is still here. And man, King David, man, y'all went off, bro. You know? Instead of keeping the peace amongst yourselves and waiting for the Lord to reveal all things, here it is, you fighting and moaning about shit that doesn't matter. That's not your salvation, man. You know, doesn't matter, bro. What you gonna prove? What you gonna? Oh, yo, King David's here. Well, is King David gonna save you? Is Ruth being a Moabite gonna save you? What's that gonna do? You gonna that's see Jake. A lot of times they got pissing contests amongst themselves to see who's the man. Yeah, I was right. You ain't that. You was that. A lot of times, bro, it's all hubris and pride. That's why we got to get the hell up out of here, man. You know. Okay. Worry about things. The Lord told you not to worry about endless genealogies and words that gender strifes, man. You know. Now, when it comes to defending the truth, is one thing, but a lot of times you get into petty little arguments over nothing, over little shit, man. Yeah, bro, you said this to me, and yeah. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. That's the curses, man. Psalms 145, verse 13. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all the generations. The Lord upholdeth all that fall and raise up all those that be bowed down. That's us. The eyes of all that wait upon thee, thou givest them their meat in due season. The workman is worthy of his meat, right? Thou openest thy hand and satisfies the desire of every living thing. The Lord is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works. The Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He will also hear their cry and will save them. And the Lord preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. Whew. My mouth shall speak the praise of the Most High, and let all flesh bless his name forever and ever. That's mean perpetually. All right. Perpetually. That's our legacy. All right. You was created to praise the Most High, and you're supposed to go and leave nothing left, no stone left unturned. You're supposed to leave no stone left unturned when it comes to the Lord, man. You see? You're supposed to have that's why the elect is going to be on them ships, because they've left no stone left unturned, man. Hey, Sirach 51. Let's get that. That's why they're going to be sitting there and the Lord's going to feed them. The Lord said he's going to sit there and give them meat in due season and a crown upon their head and meat trees, man. Why? Because here it is, they've been given everything. They didn't leave none on the line. They left it all on the court. They gave 144% of themselves, day in, day out, year upon year. They didn't give themselves over to Satan. They didn't give themselves over to the world. They didn't suffer they suffer with their people like Moses and Joseph and them did, man. You see, they didn't take the easy way out, take the bag so they could live in pleasure. The Lord told you she that live in pleasure is dead while she liveth. All right. Sirach 51. Okay, and 30th verse. Actually 26th verse. It says, put your neck under the yoke and let your soul receive instruction. She is hard to find. That's Sophia. That's the wisdom. Behold with your eyes how that I have had but little labor and have gotten me much rest. All right, here it is. You only laboring for how long was Yahushua on the earth? How long was he on the scene? He wasn't around the scene for 127 years. His ministry was short. That's why the Lord told you that that a good life had but a few days. Behold with your eyes how that I have had but little labor have gotten me much rest. That's why it says in Romans the 8th chapter that the present affliction is not worthy to be compared with the glory that should be revealed in us. Okay, so it says 28th verse, get learning with a great sum of money and get much gold by her. Let your soul rejoice in his mercy and be not ashamed of his praise. All right, if you're ashamed of the Lord, he's going to be ashamed of you when he comes. That's why the scripture tell you to testify the Savior openly. A lot of you don't testify the Savior openly. That's why he's going to deny you before the Father when he comes. He's going to say, I don't know you. I don't know you. You denied me. You over there changing my name. You over there ashamed of what people think about you and me. So I ain't gonna crown you when I come. I ain't gonna give you my blessings on the first go around. I'm not gonna sit there and give you meat in due season. So let your soul rejoice in his mercy and be not ashamed of his praise. Work your work betimes, and in his time he will give you your reward. And you're in his time. The Lord told you that no man knoweth the day but the hour, nor the hour, right? Only my Father which is in heaven. All right. So it says 2 Ezra chapter 3 and verse 13. And now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from amongst them whose name was Abraham. Abraham. Him thou didst love, and unto him thou showest thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. He would never forsake his seed, but Abraham had 3 sons. But the line went through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about Shem, Abraham. He's not, it's going through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's not talking about Esau. He's not talking about Ishmael. He's not talking about any of these other nations. You know, an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that he would never forsake his seed. That's perpetual. That's an inheritance. That's the heritage. Unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac thou hast gave Jacob and Esau. And as for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee and put by Esau, and so Jacob became a great multitude. And it came to pass that when thou leddest his seed out of Egypt, thou broughtest them out of Mount Sinai. And bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth, and moved the whole world, and made the depths to tremble, and troublest the men of their age. And thy glory all for the children of Israel's sake. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire, earthquake, and wind, and of cold, that thou mightst give the law unto the seed of Jacob. That's the perpetual heritage. And diligence unto the generation of Israel. Diligence to who? To his prophets. Because the Lord told you that give all this to make your call election sure. That's the election. 20th verse. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them. That's right. Because the Lord didn't give us a fleshly heart yet. He still put that stony heart in you. Okay, because you're still going off pursuing the Romans the 7th chapter. Paul said, "What the things that I would do, I would not. That which I do, I do." You know, it's a tongue twister. You know, so it says, because some of you don't believe in Apostle Paul, but you know, that's neither here nor there. All right. For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed and was overcome, so that all they be born of him. That's right. Thus infirmity was made permanent, and the law also in the heart of the people with the malignity of the root, so that the good departed away and the evil abode still. It says, so the time passed away and the years were brought to an end. Then didst thou raise up a servant called David, whom thou commandest to build a city unto thy name, and to offer incense and oblations unto thee therein. When this was done many years, then they that inhabited the city forsook thee, and all things did even as Adam and all his generations had done, for they also had a wicked heart. And so they gave the city over into the hands of the enemies, and their deeds then any better than the inhabitants of Babylon, that they should therefore have the dominion over Zion. For when I came thither and had seen the impieties without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in the 30th year, so that my heart failed me. For I have seen how they sufferest, for I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people, and has preserved thy enemies, and have not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? Right now, yes. Right now, these heathens are better than you niggas. See, that's why the Lord is giving them the kingdom over you. But the Lord said, a remnant shall return, and that he will give them their heritage back, you know, their inheritance. All right, which was far surpassed anything that these heathens ever had. 32nd verse. Or is there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob? Yet their reward appeareth not. Yet you don't have anything right here to reward you. The Lord said, in a long time, you know, he's gonna make the time short. And their labor have no fruit, for I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I have seen that they flow in wealth and think not upon their commandments. Look, these people don't serve the Most High. Look how the Lord treated them. How much more are you? 34th verse. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel, in thy heritage. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight, or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, and not the heathen. not the heathen. That's why the Lord's not going to make a perpetual covenant with them. All right. But here it is. There, the people are complaining about the Lord's racist. Yeah, the Lord's a racist, but He also blessed you. He blessed you, white people. He blessed you. You guys, you had us as slaves. That's a great honor to have us as slaves, man. You had us as slaves. You had King David in slavery. You had everybody. You had the great men of the Lord in slavery, man. You should be thanking your lucky stars, you know, that you even have a kingdom, that you even was able to put us in captivity, so on and so forth, man. Okay, but it says Amos chapter actually, oh yeah, skipped over Genesis 45 and verse Genesis 45 and verse 1. And then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. He wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard him. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence, right? Because they sold him into slavery. All right. He was facing them right here in the 41st chapter, 45th chapter. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved nor angry with yourselves that ye sold me hither, for the Most High did send me before to preserve your life. For these 2 years have the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in the which shall neither be earing nor harvest. And the Most High sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by great deliverance. You niggas sold me into slavery, but here it goes. The Most High sent me to save your lives. See that? You see? You see? Just like Yahushua. See? That's why the Lord told you in Obadiah 1:21, man. Okay, saviors shall mount up upon Mount Zion to judge the Mount of Esau. And Joseph was one of those saviors, man, that was sent up to preserve you a posterity in the earth, my 11 brothers. You sold me into slavery, man, right? You sold me into slavery, guys. My own flesh and blood. But here it is, the Most High preserved me a posterity in the earth to save your lives by great deliverance, you ungrateful nigga. But see how the Most High deals? See how he deals? See how he works in mysterious ways? At the time, Joseph, man, why are these dudes selling me into slavery? My heart, probably heartbroken and shit. The Most High had a plan, man. I'm gonna turn back around. I'm gonna make you, I'm gonna make them shame before you, man. All that was incensed against thee, right? They gonna have to come bow before you, bro. You know. See, that's how Joseph worked. That's how the Lord worked with Joseph. You see, his brothers sold him to slavery, you know, and boom, the Lord set him up to save their lives by great deliverance, to preserve you a posterity. You see, and that's how the Most High works, man. Amos 4:1. Hear this word, ye kin at Bashan, that are in the mountain of Samaria, which oppress the poor, which crush the needy, which say to the masters, bring and let us drink. The Lord God, Yahweh shall have sworn by his holiness that, lo, the day shall come upon you that he will take you away with hooks, and your posterity with fish hooks. And ye shall go out the breaches, every cow that which is before her, and ye shall cast them into the palace which saith the Lord. Come to Bethel and transgress at Gilgal, multiply transgression, and bring forth your sacrifices every morning and your tithes after 3 years. And offer a sacrifice on thanksgiving with leaven, and proclaim and publish the free offerings. For this liketh you, O children of Israel, said the Lord. For I have given you cleanliness of teeth in all your cities, and want of bread in all your places, yet ye have not returned unto me, said the Lord. All right. Jump down to 9th verse. I have smitten you with blasting and mildew when your gardens and your vineyards and your fig trees and your olive trees increased, the palmer worm devoured them, yet ye have not returned unto me, said the Lord. All right. But those that returned, the Lord said he granted them to return and gave them a posterity, man. He granted them to return. Let's get that real quick. And I'll leave you with 45th chapter. Yep, Jeremiah 30, real quick, and verse 3, it says, Jeremiah 30 and verse 2, actually, it says, thus speaketh the Lord, power of Israel, the God power of Israel. saying, write thee all the words that are spoken upon thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, thou will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, northern southern kingdom, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, if not of peace, because we're not in a time of peace. All right, first come war to then for there to be peace, man. There has to come war for there to be peace. For you to have your legacy established on the earth, so-called white man got to be rooted out of his tabernacle, man. All right. So there must be a time of war, man. All right. There must be a time of war, such as never was before there was a nation. Sirach 47 and verse 21, actually 18. By the name of the Lord God, which is called the Lord God of Israel, thou didst gather gold as tin, and didst multiply silver as lead. Thou didst bow thy loins unto women, and by thy body thou was brought into subjection. Thou didst stain thy honor and polluted thy seed, so that thou broughtest wrath upon thy own children, and was grieved for thy folly. So the kingdom was divided, and out of Ephraim ruled the rebellious kingdom, but the Most High will never leave off his mercy, neither shall any of his works perish, neither will he abolish the posterity of his elect. There you go. The seed of him that loveth him will he not take away, and whereof he gave a remnant unto Jacob, and out of him a root unto David. Thus rested Solomon his fathers, and his seed he left behind him Rehoboam, even the foolishness of the people, and one that had no understanding, who turned away the people through his counsel. There was also Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who caused Israel to sin and showed Ephraim the way of sin. And their sins were multiplied exceedingly, that they were driven out the land, for they sought out all wickedness till the vengeance came upon them. See, the vengeance is going to come upon our people once again. All right, so that a remnant could return and a root out of David, so that the Most High would not abolish the posterity of his elect and the seed of him that loved him. All right, so Baruch 2, and I'll leave you with that. Baruch 2 and verse 14 says, hear our prayers, O Lord, and our petitions, and deliver us for thy own sake, and give us favor in the sight of them which have led us away. All right, the heathen, Proverbs 3 and 31. It said, envy not the oppressor, choose not his ways, led you away. It said, let thy wrath turn from us. 13th verse, for we are left amongst the heathen, where thou hast scattered us. Hear our prayers, O Lord, and our petitions, 14th verse, and deliver us for thy own sake, and give us favor in the sight of them which have led us away, that all the earth may know that thou art the Lord, power, our power, because Israel and his posterity is called by thy name. All right. So that's our legacy, and that's our inheritance. All right. Which is in the heavens. This is why it says we have our treasure in earthen vessels that eventually going to come here pursuant to the Lord's prayer, which is going to be established, all right, in the coming days, all right, because the time is short. So, the title of the lesson say you got to do this work while the night coming, while you can, for the night coming, where no man can work, John 9 and 4. All right, so you got to leave it all on the line, all right, because ain't no time for no regrets. You know, ain't no time for no regrets. All right, so with that, call him like how. Kahalaim like how Bashim, El Shai Bashim Kagudash. Peace to the Lord's posterity, man. Shalom.